A splendid day to everyone, to the organizers and administrators of this international multidisciplinary conference on various disciplines, and to Global Academia Network, facilitators, fellow presenters, and guests, and to the Examination Tribunal, a blessed day. I'm Arnel Ringor, a PhD candidate of the University of Santo Tomas, Philippines, a faculty member of Cagayan State University. The title of my presentation today is Compliance and Marketing Towards Viability and Sustainability of Multipurpose Cooperative Models. May I begin the presentation with the research problems. This study sought to determine the viability and sustainability by evaluating the degree of compliance of multipurpose cooperatives to government regulatory provisions on cooperative business process, training of officers and members, and reporting. Consequently, it also sought to determine the specific marketing strategies, highlighting structural marketing, marketing communications, strategic responsiveness, and research and development. Compliance to regulatory provisions and marketing strategies subsequently ensue viability and sustainability key result areas: financial performance, asset management, marketing performance, corporate social responsibility, and resilience during uncertainties and pandemic. Here are the specific questions. Number 1. What are the social determinant characteristics of the multipurpose cooperatives with the following: age of the enterprise, number of members? Number 2. What is the degree of compliance of the multipurpose cooperative with government regulations in the following stated factors? Number 3. What is the existing marketing strategy of the respondents on the factors indicated? Number 4. What are the significant determinants of a viable and sustainable multipurpose cooperative on the following aspects as stated? Specific question number 5 and 6. Is there an association between the marketing strategy, its components as stated, and the research and development, and the resulting viability and sustainability of all the respondents? And 6. Is there an association between the cooperative's asset management ratios and the acquisition of material ownership on whether they have acquired land and established other branches? Now we proceed with the hypothesis. For the null hypothesis, number 1, there is no association between the marketing strategy with its components and with the resulting viability and sustainability of all respondents. Second, there is no association between the cooperative's asset management ratios and the acquisition of material ownership. For the alternative hypothesis, number 1, is there an association between the marketing strategy with its detailed components and the resulting viability and sustainability among the respondents? And number 2, is there an association between the cooperative asset management ratios and acquisition of material ownership? We go next with the research methodology. Here it is. This is a descriptive correlational study which provides analysis of compliance to regulatory provisions and specific marketing strategies and resulting viability and sustainability key result areas. It utilized convergent mix method with 2 quantitative and 1 qualitative approach. Respondents were purposefully selected from 8 CDA Gawad Parangal awardees in the large millionaire and billionaire category from years 2015 to 2019. Actual participants is 80% multipurpose cooperative awardees. The 60-item questionnaire went through a reliability test with 0.867 Cronbach's alpha coefficient, indicating high internal consistency, exceeding the acceptable reliability coefficient of 0.70. We proceed to the research findings. As shown is the CDA's Annual Statistics from 2016 to 2019. A declining and fluctuating trend is shown in this presentation. Nonetheless, we see an improvement in 2019 with the operating cooperatives and a reduction of 51% of non-reporting cooperative in 2017. However, we see an increasing trend in the non-reporting from 2018 to 2019. And it is very alarming because newly registered cooperatives should increase operating cooperatives. However, record shows that a total of 1,566 delisted cooperatives from years 2014 to 2017, because of failure to submit report, operate within the prescribed period, and to register under the provisions of Republic Act 9520, otherwise known as the Cooperative Code of the Philippines. As shown is the cooperative business process. Respondents were registered on different periods, from 1964 to 2008. The oldest cooperative among the respondents was registered in 1964, now have 79,024 membership. Second to the oldest cooperative registered in 1981, now have 89,650 members. The rest of the cooperative respondents were registered between 1991 to 2008 with membership ranging from 1,786 to 7,700. The respondents' compliance to training for officers showed that a categorical mean of 4.88 or strongly agree, an indication of undeviating compliance. In terms of the respondents' compliance to policies of the CDA pertaining to the required reports as detailed, the cooperatives garnered a categorical mean of 4.90 or strongly agree, indicating all are compliant to reporting policies required by the CDA. In here, the respondents' compliance in the submission of required reports by the CDA and with the Bureau of Internal Revenue highly reveal that they are all consistently compliant. Dividends and patronage refunds are released regularly every after General Assembly. This shows that 70% of the respondents have an existing marketing department, which indicates structure by which marketing strategy emanates. This data highlights the key personnel that should be present in an organized marketing department. It showed that the 4 key personnel emanating from the Chief Marketing Officer down to the Sales Supervisor shows low percentage, which explains the 70% result in relation to the existence of a marketing department. On this slide indicates that only 68% of the respondents were able to achieve their monthly revenue targets, while 60% of the respondents were able to achieve annual revenue target. The research and development of the cooperative shows that the majority employs product development, more rooms to improve. The adoption of online was among the most utilized alternatives. Various coping mechanisms were adopted to cope with the new normal as shown in these results. On the screen shows the profitability ratios as presented with 3 ratios: the gross profit ratio, the return on asset ratio, the return on equity ratio. There is no ideal gross profit ratio recommended in a cooperative setting, but generally the accepted percentage GPR is 20%. This is not, however, absolute to all enterprises, as it depends on the nature of the operation. The standing parameter is the markup should take care of the expenses and yield a modest income to consider it as good business. Generally, the results show that all the respondents are generating an income, and the return on equity affirms that they are all above the ideal 10% ratio. On your screen is the acquisition of assets. Results showed that generally, cooperatives were able to acquire material ownership as detailed. Some cooperatives acquired land and some have not. Some have branches while others do not have. In terms of asset efficiency, a respondent registered 0.57 in 2015, the highest so far among respondents despite the decreasing trend from 2015 to 2019, surpassing the rest of the respondents. The rest registered a ratio ranging from 0.013 to 0.27. A quick glance with inventory turnover with all its ratios. The inventory turnover indicates that one MPC has registered a ratio of 76.83 in 2019, being the highest and the best inventory management, while one MPC was found to have the lowest registered ratio ranging from 5.23 to 4.35, indicating a poor management. The total asset turnover measures the overall efficiency of a company in generating revenues using its assets. on the slide shows the longer the inventory stays in the warehouse will be disadvantageous to the enterprise. Otherwise, the frequent turnover would mean more profit generated. As shown, out of the 10 questions in the marketing performance of the various cooperatives, 2 questions have resulted in no significant difference in the distribution of yes, no, and other responses. The p-value for the presence of a set annual targets prepared by each of the marketing officers is 0.380, exceeding the set value of 0.05 level of significance. Aside from this, the p-value of incremental increases in sales target per year showed 0.184, indicating a higher value than the alpha level. This now supports the row results, as it has been found that all of the cooperatives have a set annual targets. However, the incremental increase in sales target is only 64%, while only 68% monthly achieve their sales target, and only 60% achieve their annual. Results showed the remarkable community development activities of the respondents, indicating their corporate social responsibility. It showed that all respondents were regularly engaged in rendering community services in their locations where they operate and in other places. The emergence of the current pandemic showed that only 52% of the respondents adopted the online platform despite being all equipped with online facility. Observed health protocols, implemented a work-from-home scheme. Some expressed to stick with their continuity and risk management plan. Others adopted telemarketing strategy and complied with the vaccination program of the Department of Health. We now go with the conclusion. For the conclusion, this study demonstrates that compliance with regulatory provisions as a best practice, an avenue to a viable and sustainable enterprise, emerge as a contagious culture from within. Regulatory compliance manifests organizational commitment as illuminated by Celis in 2018. Strategic marketing begins with an organized marketing structure. Majority has an existing marketing department but is not well structured. The organizational structure should provide a standpoint in achieving marketing objectives by a well-staffed department and protocols in target setting. Profitability ratios and other financial ratios, such as management ratios, generally indicates that all are productive, but at one point, a few of the respondents have had high financial risk because of high debt, equity, and slow inventory turnover. The total asset turnover indicates best practices in terms of asset management. Product development is an area for improvement. Product diversification is also exhibited by one of the respondents. All are productive in exhibiting their resiliency by their contingency measure in coping with the new normal due to pandemic. Their community development activities, such as community service projects, has strengthened their social responsibility. The respondents' excellent and consistent compliance along with the correct marketing mindset will result to a more viable and sustainable cooperative and enterprise. As shown, me and my advisors, and with our contact details. Me and my co-authors, my advisors, Dr. Angeles and Dr. Castaño, representing University of Santo Tomas and Cagayan State University Andrews Campus, with our contact details. This ends my presentation. Thank you everyone. Maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat.